Good day, everyone. Good day, Miss Gina. For today, we're going to present our article with me, Francesco Soriano, and my partner, Limosnero. So here is the link of the article, which is about the mixed Japanese-Filipino identities under Japanese multiculturalism. Author would be Seeger in the year 2019, and the theme is race, age, and gender.
For the introduction, the article Mixed Japanese-Filipino Identities Under Japanese Multiculturalism, written by Fiona Katharina Seeger, examines the experiences of Japanese-Filipino individuals navigating their identities within Japan's multicultural landscape. But despite Japan's increasing diversity, the country maintains a monoracial and monoethnic national identity, making it difficult for those of mixed heritage to be fully accepted as Japanese. In the article, Seeger explores how Japanese Filipino individuals negotiate their identities, often choosing labels such as half Fu or half Japanese, mixed roots, or Filipino, depending on their social context. This study highlights how Japan's version of multiculturalism acknowledges diversity but still enforces ethnic and racial boundaries. By analyzing the lived experiences of those individuals, the articles shed light on the challenges and adaptations of mixed heritage people in Japan.
Moving forward, let's talk about the theory and concepts of the article. Number 1. National identity and multiculturalism. Seeger talks about how mixed heritage people's identity formation is influenced by Japan's multiculturalism. Japan frequently maintains a self-image as a monoracial and monoethnic nation despite growing diversity, which might marginalize people who do not fit this specific criteria. This viewpoint supports the Kaya's criticism that assimilationist principles may be upheld by Japan's multicultural policies, which appear to accept diversity on the surface. Number 2, we got the social identity theory. Social identity theory, which holds that people get a sense of who they are from belonging to certain groups, is also discussed in Seeger's work. Conflicting social norms and group of loyalties can cause identity ambiguity for mixed Japanese Filipinos. According to Seeger, these people frequently struggle with social categorization, which results in a fluid and dynamic process of identity creation. And last theory, we got the practice theory. Seeger investigates how mixed heritage people actively create their identities via routine behaviors and interactions by applying Ortner's practice theory. According to Ortner, this method places a strong emphasis on people's agency in navigating and negotiating their cultural identities within systematic limitations. Seeger emphasizes how mixed Japanese Filipinos uses a variety of tactics to express their complex identities in spite of social pressures, defying stereotypes.
For the methodology, Seeger employs qualitative research methods that focus on the personal narratives of Japanese Filipino individuals that live in Japan. The study is based on interviews and ethnographic observations, allowing the author to gain insights into how mixed heritage individuals perceive their identities and how they are perceived by the Japanese society. The analysis also reveals that many respondents do not openly challenge Japan's ethnic classifications, but instead adapt by strategically choosing how they identify depending on the situation. For instance, in certain settings, they may present themselves as Japanese to fit in, while in other contexts, they may embrace their Filipino heritage. This research highlights the flexibility of identity construction among mixed heritage individuals and how societal expectations shape their self-perception.
Seeger's research explores Japanese Filipino identities in the framework of Japan's heterogeneous society. According to the findings, these people frequently manage complicated identity dynamics as a result of cultural norms and societal expectations. Many feel excluded since they are occasionally viewed as outsiders in both the Filipino and Japanese communities. The study emphasizes how Japan's social, legal, and cultural frameworks shape these identity conflicts. Despite these obstacles, some Japanese Filipinos embrace their mixed history and draw strength from their multiple identities. Finally, in order to give mixed heritage people in Japan stronger sense of belonging, the study emphasizes the necessity of a more inclusive multicultural policy.
The three strengths of the article are as follows. Number one, deep exploration of multiculturalism in Japan. In this article, Seeger effectively highlights the paradox of Japanese multiculturalism. However, Japan acknowledges diversity, but it still enforces rigid racial and ethnic boundaries. This context provides valuable insights into how multicultural policies function in a country that historically writes itself on homogeneity. Number two, use of personal narratives for authenticity. By incorporating the first hand accounts from Japanese Filipino individuals, the study captures the live experiences of identity negotiation. These make the findings more relatable and compelling, offering a human perspective rather than just theoretical analysis. Number three, perceptive discussions on identity flexibility. In this article, the research demonstrates that mixed heritage individuals do not simply struggle with their identities, but they rather adopt adaptive strategies in response to social expectations. This discussion and step to the conversation on ethnic identity in Japan, making the article a very strong foundation and contribution to the topic of multicultural studies.
So, three things to improve about the article. Number one, we got the demographics of expanded participants. A more varied sample of Japanese Filipinos from various age groups, socioeconomic backgrounds, and geographical areas could help the study capture a wider range of experiences. Number two, we got the policy contextual analysis. It might be easier for readers to comprehend how Japanese multicultural policies affect identity development if a more thorough examination of these policies and their historical background is given. And lastly, applications for integration in practice. The article might be improved by offering specific recommendations for community and educational initiatives that will better assist people in Japan who have dual identities.